Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. I am so excited for today's video because you guys are choosing my day today. I love being able to interact with you guys, but especially real time. So if you want to be a part of helping me decide things, I highly recommend checking out my Instagram because I'm always utilizing the Instagram story polls. Maybe it's for a video like the TBR video, you controlling my day, but sometimes it's just random things throughout the week where I'm stuck on what book I want to start next, what drink I should get at a coffee shop. So if you want to help me decide those things, you can check out my Instagram. I love watching any video where the audience is controlling some part of the creator, but I have to say that this idea was definitely bumped up to the top of my list watching Bestie Ayana's recent video because she just had the best day. It was kind of funny watching from her perspective because she liked filming the video because she has more of a decision paralysis and doesn't want to make the choice. I'm the opposite, where unless I'm just trying to make the person feel comfortable enough that I want them to share their opinion, if they ask me a question, like, I know where I want to go to dinner. I know the coffee shop I want to go to, what drink I want, what I want to wear. So this is kind of the opposite for me, where it's taking away my control, and that's a bit out of my comfort zone. The first one's an easy one. We're just deciding which sweater I want to wear and what jewelry I want to pair with it. The first option is this pastel pink cardigan. It is so cute and dainty. I'm not usually a pink girl, but I feel like this being kind of a pastel, less vibrant, I'm obsessed. The other option is a tried and true. I'm obsessed with the blue. I love this cardigan so much. I'm a blue girl. Everyone knows I'm a blue girl, so I think I will be shocked if blue doesn't win. So let's see the first poll. 79% blue. Yeah, I'm not even surprised. Okay, this is cute. I don't know if I want to do like the top button and unbutton the rest or do it like this. We'll play with that later. Next up are our jewelry options, which thank you so much to Analuisa for sponsoring today's video. I just got some new pieces and I'm so excited to add them to my collection. They're such a great place to find something for yourself or gifting something to your friends and family. I just got this necklace and I'm obsessed with it. I own a lot of dainty pieces, but I want some fun kind of texture and patterns, so I'm thinking we have to wear this one today. I love that Analuisa is the perfect middle ground where they're not terribly expensive, but you know that their pieces are gonna last forever. I love this necklace. I think I want to pair it with this dainty twisty one. It's very important to me to shop at companies that care about the world and want to make an impact with their business. So I love that Analuisa continues to reduce and neutralize their carbon footprint. They have outside auditors that make sure their working environments are fair and safe. And of course, utilizing recycled materials any chance they get. I'm very excited about this collaboration because if you guys watch my Vlogmas, then you guys know that I got this beautiful necklace and I got a matching one to gift my mom. But I am gifting one of them to you guys. So all you have to do is be subscribed and comment something down below that's positive, whether or not it's a highlight of your day, a book you're excited to read, your biggest win from 2025. And I will say that you do need to be from the United States, but other than that, you have a chance to win this beautiful necklace. All that information will be down in the description box, but the deadline will be February 10th. You can also use my QR code or the link down in the description to shop up to 25% off. So thank you once again to Analuisa for sponsoring today's video. I have so many rings to choose from. I love stacking them. I love utilizing as much as I can. So let me figure out which ones I want to wear. I think I'm going to stick with these. I just got this middle one. It kind of reminds me of the necklace I just got. And then I also got this bottom one. It's such a beautiful, dainty design. I'm obsessed. The other poll I already put up today was whether or not I should go to a place that I know I love or try a new coffee shop. So let's see which one you guys voted for. 59% to try somewhere new. So let me pick where we're going to go and then we'll head out. We just got to the new coffee shop we were going to try. It is called Pollen and Pour. It looks so cute. It's actually inside of a hotel, but the pictures make it look like it's its own space, not just like thrown into the lobby. I see outdoor seating. I'm pretty sure they have indoor seating as well. So I'm excited to see what it's like. Before I headed here, I posted another poll essentially asking matcha or coffee. I'm scared. I know I'm a matcha girl. However, I have been drinking coffee recently. So let's see. This one's obviously a much shorter poll as far as time. Okay, matcha is 56%. Thank you guys. I love you. I'm not letting the poll go any further. We're locking it in. Okay, I'm excited to see if they have any like seasonal drinks. I'm a regular matcha girl for sure. Strawberry matcha is a flavor I always go to if I'm adding a flavor, but I'd be curious if they have like another one that I could try. Also, I have my Kindle because we are going to do a little bit of reading. I am starting a new book today called The Dinner List. It looks like such a unique concept. We've all thought about like if we could have dinner with someone Sabrina has died, whether or not it's like a celebrity, a family member, like kind of who would it be? I think it is something where she's going to like her 30th birthday dinner and she has her friends there, but there's also like a dead celebrity. If I recall the synopsis correctly, we'll see if I'm right, but it's a pretty short read, so I'm curious if I could even finish it today, but let's at least start it here. Okay, I have to give it a good stir. I got the blueberry matcha. I'm excited to see how it tastes. I'm nervous. I didn't add any other flavors, so I'm hoping the blueberry syrup is like sweet enough. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Okay, I'm gonna get my book, my headphones, and we're gonna do a little bit of reading. Reading update because this book is so interesting. So it is this main character, Sabrina, who for her 30th birthday, she shows up to dinner and there are 5 people from a list she wrote years ago of the people that she would want to have dinner with. We have people from her past, alive and dead. We have like people she knows, people she doesn't, like Audrey Hepburn. Naturally, that's fun, but then you're really understanding a romance story and her past with that, and I just think it's so incredible. You have like a past, present timeline going on, but you were having these different people from different walks of life kind of helping facilitate these conversations. What the heck? Like, what the heck? And we had the craziest plot twist about 40% into it. I read that line and I said, wait a damn minute, because how is this book gonna end? So that's where we're at. I really want to finish this today, and I think I can because I just sat at the coffee shop for not that long. It is a little after 1, so I think I was here for, I don't know, hour and a half or so, and I read 50% of this book, a little over 50%. So we're definitely finishing it today. It's not a big book overall. So the next poll that we have, I put up when I first sat down to read, and it is whether or not I should go to a bookstore or the library. So let's see what you guys voted on. The girlies knew. They said bookstore. 71% bookstore. Okay. Luckily, this coffee shop is actually located next to a Barnes & Noble, so we are set to go. I want to make sure. Okay, the next polls I want to do are after we get home, so I'll probably put up one whenever we leave the bookstore, but let's head practically across the street and go to Barnes & Noble. Okay. I just parked, and before I head over to Barnes, I want to pull up my Goodreads want to read list because there are quite a few things that I added on here after my last Barnes trip. So I just want to be on the lookout because I know that Barnes also has a lot of tables that are buy one, get one 50% off, or this table's 50%, and I'd like to have some sort of idea before I go in. home and I have a book haul for you guys. I ended up picking up 4 books. They were having 50% off thousands of hardcovers, which was just crazy. If you're a hardcover girl, I hope you are staying on top of that sale because there were so many options. I'm just generally not a hardcover girl, but there were quite a few new releases I was interested in. Unfortunately, none of those were part of that sale, of course, but I did find one that I was interested in. So we got 1 hardcover. The rest were just ones that I was browsing around and I decided to pick up. I feel like this haul is definitely out of my comfort zone overall, but let's go ahead and talk about the hardcover because you guys, how have I not read this book yet? And to have it be 50% off? Oh my gosh. I love it. I think that's the only time I will buy a hardcover is if there is some form of a sale, because otherwise I would just prefer to read it as an ebook or from a physical from the library and then wait for it to re-release in paperback. I was so convinced I had read this book, and then I went to Goodreads and I'm like, it's still on the want to read shelf, babes. I don't know what you thought. So I don't actually know what this is about. It says, "Welcome to Blackwood Academy, the legendary school located on the fringes of the afterlife." What? Once a pupil enters the academy's arched gates, there is no way out, except for the decennial? Sure. A once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a choice. Graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite, or cross over to the mysterious other side. This time, though, the rules have changed. The decennial isn't a celebration, it's a competition, and there can only be one victor. 2 academic rivals whose strange connection blurs the lines between obsession and hate. One girl driven solely by ambition, and the other plagued by memories of the love she lost. And a charming playboy who never cared for anyone until he met the academy's newest student. Each of these 6 students has their own motivation to win and their own secret to hide. But what none of them know, they aren't the only ones playing Blackwood's game, and if they lose, some fates are worse than death. This sounds so good. I've seen so many people love it, so I'm excited to pick this one up sooner than later. The rest of these books are quite out of my comfort zone, but if you've been watching my channel for the last few months, I feel like you've seen me gravitate a lot towards those books and wanting to read out of my comfort zone, so let's go through them. If you guys watched my Bookish Days vlog, I went to Barnes and I showed you guys Whale Fall by Elizabeth O'Connor. I ended up putting it on my want to read list on Goodreads and I didn't end up buying it. When I saw it today, I really wanted to pick it up because when I posted that vlog, one of you guys commented that it was your favorite book you read that year, so I knew I had to get it. The back of the book says, in 1938, a dead whale washes ashore on a remote Welsh island. For Maud, who has spent her whole life in this place, it feels like both a portent of doom and a symbol of what may lie beyond the shores. A young woman living with her father and sister, Maud can't shake her desire to venture beyond of the beautiful yet blistering harsh islands that her family has called home for generations. The arrival of 2 English ethnographers, I'm gonna have to look that up, who hope to study the island culture, then feels like a boon, a possible means of escape. She's pulled towards them, reckoning with a sensual awakening inside herself despite her misgivings that her home is being misconstrued and exoticized through their work. With shimmering prose tempered by sharp wit, Elizabeth O'Connor paints a portrait of a community and a woman on the precipice, forced to confront an outside world that seems to be closing in around them. So we'll see. The next book I picked up was The People in the Trees. This is by the same author as A Little Life, which I have yet to read, but I know that it is going to be a detrimental experience. So I do want to read it eventually, but when I saw this, I just wanted to pick it up because I knew no one else was talking about it. The synopsis on the back reads, in 1950, a young doctor named Norton Arena embarks on an expedition to a remote Micronesian island in search of a rumored lost tribe. There he encounters a strange group of forest dwellers who appear to have attained a form of immortality that preserves the body but not the mind. Purina uncovers their secret and returns with it to America, where he soon finds great success. But his discovery has come at a terrible cost, not only for the islanders, but for Purina himself. Disquieting yet thrilling, The People in the Trees is an anthropological adventure story with a profound and tragic vision of what happens when cultures collide. It marks the debut of a remarkable new voice in American fiction. This could be so good to read. The last book I picked up was The Colony by Annika Norlin. This got my attention immediately. I don't know what it was about it, but I saw The Colony and I said, I'm gonna be interested in that. The back of the book says, Emily, a burned out, city-weary journalist, retreats to the woods in search of a quiet, only to find an off-grid community living in a radically different way and led by the magnetic Sarah. Drawn into their world, Emily begins to question where the boundary lies between genuine community and coercive control. Winner of several of Sweden's most prestigious literary prizes, The Colony is a darkly funny, strikingly compassionate, and unputdownable debut that overturns every cliche about communal living to reveal a band of misfits who are complex, compelling, and impossible to forget. A riveting exploration of power, belonging, and the families we choose. It kind of reminded me how I, who have never known men, made me think about if we were taken out of our normal lives, how would we adapt? That made me think that way, and so that's why I think I wanted to pick it up. Also, we know I love a good cult. This is giving cult, so I'm excited to read this one. So these were the 4 books that I ended up purchasing, but I took a picture of quite a few other books, so I want to go through them. The first one I took a picture of is called The Elsewhere Express. First of all, this cover was absolutely beautiful. If I remember the synopsis correctly, it is essentially this magical express train that is invite only. You're only getting on that train if you have something going on and you're kind of on the brink of collapse, if you will, in your life for whatever reason. And so it brings kind of all those people together. I read that gist, and that was enough for me to take a picture of it. The next one I took a picture of is called Annihilation. Honestly, the cover caught my attention, but it is a political thriller that is about faith and family, love and mortality, social upheaval, and political controversy. We're set in France, 2027, in a state of economic decline and moral decay. Unemployment, rural poverty, and income inequality have reached unprecedented levels. As the country plunges into a closely fought presidential campaign, the French state falls victim to a series of mysterious and unsettling cyber attacks. It honestly just sounds interesting. There's more, but that was enough for me to take a picture of it, and hopefully Libby has it. Okay, my SD card got full, and then Milo needed some love. But the next one that I took a picture of is called The Other Valley. It is a literary speculative novel about an isolated town neighbored by its own past and future. So we have our 16-year-old main character, who is an awkward, quiet girl vying for a coveted seat on the council. If she earns the position, she'll decide who may cross her town's heavily guarded borders. On the other side, it's the same valley, the same town, except to the east, the town is 20 years ahead of time. To the west, it's 20 years behind. When our main character, I just don't know how to say her name, recognizes 2 visitors she wasn't supposed to see, she realizes that the parents of her friend have been escorted across the border from the future on a morning tour to view their son while he's still alive. Oh gosh, but I just feel like this sounds so good. Then I took a picture of Theo of Golden. I really want a physical copy of this book, so I might read it on my Kindle. I have the audio already, but I think I really want a physical copy of this. It is basically this small town where Theo, our main character, goes into, I think it's like a coffee shop that has so many portraits of people that also live in Golden, and so he goes on this like mission of returning all these portraits to their rightful owner, which is these people, and in delivering them these portraits, like he's listening to their stories. And I just feel like it could be such an impactful book that I really want a physical copy of it. The next one I took a picture of is called All the Little Bird Hearts. This cover looks so beautiful. It says, Sunday lives with her 16-year-old daughter, Dolly, the same house she has lived in all her life. She does things differently from other people, but mostly it works. On her quiet days, she must eat only white foods. For social situations, she has her etiquette handbook, and for solace, her beloved treasury of Sicilian folklore. But the one thing very much out of her control is Dolly. Beautiful, headstrong Dolly, who is on the cusp of leaving home. Into this carefully ordered life step, Vita and Rollo, a glamorous London couple who move in next door, disarm Sunday with their wit and charm, and proceed to deliciously break just about every rule in her etiquette manual. Soon the 2 families are in and out of each other's houses, and Sunday feels loved and accepted like never before. But beneath Vita and Rollo's charm and wealth, there's something else, something darker. And Sunday has something that Vita has always wanted for herself, a beautiful, clever daughter of her own. Excuse me? Next up is Disappearing Earth. One August afternoon on the shoreline of northeastern edge of Russia, two sisters are abducted. In the ensuing weeks, then months, the police investigation turns up nothing. Echoes of the disappearance reverberate across the tightly woven community, with the fear and loss felt most deeply among its women. Set on the remote Siberian peninsula of a place I can't pronounce, Disappearing Earth draws us into the world of an astonishing cast of characters, all connected by an unfathomable crime. We are transported to vistas of rugged beauty, densely wooded forests, open expanses of tundra, soaring volcanoes, and the glassy seas that border Japan and Alaska, and into a region as complex as it is alluring, where social and ethnic tensions have long simmered and where outsiders are often the first to be accused. In a story as propulsive as it is emotionally engaging, and through a young writer's virtuosic guys, what is this word? Feat of empathy and imagination, this powerful novel provides a new understanding of the intricate bonds of family and community. In a Russia unlike any we have seen before. Beautifully written, thought-provoking, intense, and cleverly wrought. This is the most extraordinary first novel from a mesmerizing new talent. This last one I'm going to talk about reminds me so much of I Who Have Never Known Men. Also, sorry that you can probably hear Milo playing with essentially one of these hard toys. Sorry. So this was first published in Germany. The Wall chronicles the life of the last surviving human on Earth, an extraordinary middle-aged woman who awakens one morning to find that everyone else has vanished. Assuming her isolation to be the result of a military experiment gone awry, she begins the terrifying work of survival and self-renewal. This novel is at once a simple and moving tale and a disturbing meditation on humanity. Like, what? Oh, I'm so excited to read this one. The next two polls I put up while I was driving home were if I was going to be reading cozied up on the couch or outside. Guys, I swear if you didn't choose my couch, I'm going to be so upset. And then I did for how long am I going to read? For 1 or 2 hours. So let's see what you guys decided. Oh, thank God. 71% couch. Couldn't agree more. And then 61% 2 hours. You guys hate me. Okay, that's fine. We can do this because I want to finish the book. I want to finish the dinner list, and I think 2 hours is plenty of time. So if I finish it in under 2 hours, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I think no matter what, I think my goal is to just really finish that book. I changed into some comfy clothes. Obviously, I have my headphones, my Kindle, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put a 2-hour timer on for funsies. I don't think it's gonna take me 2 hours to finish this, but we'll see how much time we have left and if it's worth starting a new book. But let's go ahead and finish the dinner list. I just finished the dinner list, and that was such a unique and fun book. The entire premise was so cool. Again, once we hit that plot twist about 50%, 40% in, you're even more intrigued to finish it and understand the full story and all that our main character is going through. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's so much closure in it. I think there's a huge part of me that feels like sadness and thinking of the people that she could reconcile with that have passed, and then the people that are living and getting those reconciliations. Like I would love that. I would love to have conversations with people that are no longer here, and I just really enjoyed that magical realism part of this story. And I love that it was pretty short. I think the audiobook was only like 6 hours, so it's a pretty short book, but it's so impactful, and I think it's one you could easily knock out in 24 hours. So I really, really recommend it. We do still have 53 minutes left on the timer, but I just don't know about it. I don't know about it. I'm gonna go ahead and feed Milo dinner, think about dinner for me, and then we'll go from there. I also want to put up another poll about if I should like watch a movie or like a docu-series. I'm a true crime girl, and I am very behind on so many different like documentaries and docu-series out there, but also like a fun little movie could be nice. So I think that's the last poll that I'm gonna put up on Instagram. It has been a little bit. My dinner just got ready. I heated up some of the Trader Joe's black bean taquitos. They're so good. And then I have some mild pico to dip it in. But it is time for us to look at the poll and see what you guys voted on. I don't know. I think honestly, I'm in the mood for true crime, so I could swing a movie or docuseries that way, because there are just like single movies about a case, and then there are the like limited series on a case, so we'll see. 55% movie, which is what I feared. That is what I think we're gonna have to see if I can find a documentary that's just like one long story. I just watched one yesterday or the day before, so dang it. But let's go see if we can find another. It's the next day and I just wanted to come on and wrap everything up. As you guys saw last night, I did not watch a true crime documentary. I don't know what it was, but once I started looking through them all of a sudden it sounded way too heavy, and so I went to browsing kind of fun animated movies. I actually saw Super Mario Bros. In theater. Guys, it's so good. So that's what I put on. It was kind of funny because Milo got super invested as well, but we had such a good time last night just hanging out and watching a movie. And I think when I'm watching movies this year, and TV shows, but really movies, I want to make sure I am putting away my phone and just like not getting on it. There is no need. We have entertainment in front of our eyes. Watch the movie. And don't forget to use my link down in the description to get up to 25% off Ana Luisa. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.